What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Boleros. Sam here with Gab and Maui. Say hi, guys.
Hello. We're back.
Yeah!
UAP content time.
Malapit na
We're
UAP!
Malapit na ang UAAP. Tama ka dyan, Gab. So right now, we're ramping up our UAAP content kasi I think what we're hearing is some people are saying end of September, some people saying early October, which is, more or less the same, pretty consistent with what we've had in the previous seasons. No? So UAAP season 86, it can't come any sooner. Super excited na kami para mapanood yung favorite teams natin, all the new teams, all the young guys that we've been talking about. So, starting today, we're gonna ramp up our UAAP content, but we don't want to do our traditional team previews that we've done in the past. So, we want to do like different types of content to sort of preview the different players, the different things that we want to see, the different teams that we're going to see in the UAAP. So, if you guys have any ideas, just comment them down below. How do you want us to preview or to cover the upcoming season sa UAAP? Just comment, share your suggestions. We'll take note of them. But for today, we, as you can see in the title, we are going to talk about players to watch out for this coming season, season 86. Gab, ano ba yung ibig sabihin mo ng players to watch out for?
Okay, so when we say players to watch out for, not necessarily that they're stars of their respective team or some prospective stars, some players that are going to break out. Might be a player that you think can have a good season out of the blue. It can be a hidden gem or someone you think is pretty underrated or someone you think we should watch because it's going to be pretty exciting to watch. So you can go anyway with this. I mean, it's a pretty open-ended topic, I think. So once you name a player, I think just give a justification why you think fans should watch this player. So pretty open-ended, can go anyway.
Okay.
Or maybe you think it's gonna be a bust. You watch for, maybe you think it's gonna be a bust.
Hindi ko naisip. Sige, so kayo, listeners, to all our listeners, if meron kayong player to watch out for, whatever your definition of player to watch out for, comment them down below. But let's start with Maui today. Maui, sino ang first choice mo na player you're excited to see or you wanna watch out for?
I think very obvious naman kung ako tatanungin sino yung player na hinihintay ko mapanood sa UAP.
Homer yan.
I've been preaching this even before the end of last season and this whole off-season. I'm gonna have to choose si Mason Amos from Ateneo. I think it's just justified that we have to see how he looks during the UAP season. He had a stint with Gilas. He had a great WBS sighting, but Ateneo struggles to use him with Balungay. So I'm very curious to see how Ateneo will be able to manage both of them. Yung last part ng off-season games ng Ateneo actually maganda kasi there were certain matchups that they were playable together and I'm very excited actually for both of them. I think Balungay also has an MVP type of season coming. If Ateneo delivers and becomes one of the top seeds, I think he'll also be another player to look out for since he will be one of the contenders for the MVP award.
Okay, not a surprise. Mason Amos, Gab, you have anything to say?
Well, we've seen the hype from Maui since season 85 regarding Mason Amos. I kind of knew he was either gonna go the Mason Amos or Kai Balungay route in this episode. I wasn't sure which, but he went with the Mason Amos. Ako, justified naman. I mean, he's played better as the preseason wore on. At the start of the preseason, was pretty bad, in my opinion. Played better offensively. For me, it's a defense talaga. Yung defense ni Mason Amos has to get better in order for him to play more with Kai Balungay. Sabi nga ni Maui has been digging into it since the start of the preseason. We need to see more Mason Amos, Kai Balungay lineups. And offensively, a daming possibilities offensively. Coach Tab runs a bunch of actions for Kai Balungay and Mason Amos. The problem is lang he gets exposed on defense. No, he's kind of slow. He's not much of a rim protector, so he has to get better there if they want to do more of those lineups. Sam.
Yeah, I agree. I had Mason Amos on my list. The way I approached this was medyo may theme ako. May theme ako, i-reveal ko siya mamaya. But within that theme, si Mason Amos was one of my picks. So you covered pretty much everything. Ano ba to? For the longest time, sobrang hype na hype tayo. We've seen him play in the preseason. The UAAP season is a different animal. Diba? Like you can see like teams win the championship sa mga preseason leagues, but pagdating ng UAAP, iba na yan. So really looking forward to see what Mason Amos can do. And he's one of my picks. Okay. So let's go with you, Gab. Who's your player to watch out for and why?
My player to watch out for is someone who has impressed me in the preseason, and he impressed us during the end of season 85. We kind of glossed over him in one of our preseason episodes, but we didn't really talk about him that much. It's Ray Remogat. Remogot. I am riding the hype of him as a player. I think he has a mythical 5 season coming. His team is, listen, the UA Red Warriors, I don't think are that good of a team in season 85, in season 86. Honestly, from watching the preseason, it's just gonna be him and Delvin Jackson probably gonna produce the most in this team. It kind of reminds me of the Roy Sumang Charles Mami team when it was just the two of them producing for UE. I expect a similar season from these two players, from Ray Remogat and Delvin Jackson. With that being said, I think Ray Remogat's gonna handle the ball and score a lot. And as he showed in the preseason, he can pass. He's a flashy passer. So if you're gonna go with highlight plays, a lot of threes, Ray Remogat is someone to watch. Again, I think he's gonna score over 20 points a game in season 86, just because there's no other options on the UE Red Warriors. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching a lot of Ray Remogat highlights. I don't think it's gonna result in a lot of wins, but if anything, it's gonna be entertaining to watch him. No, so Ray Remogat, put me down for a mythical 5 season for Ray Remogat.
Yeah. I think we talked about him briefly, no, sa isa sa mga episodes natin about UE. Not expecting a lot from UE, but expecting Remoga to have to perform, di ba? Like, he will have his number. Di ba? Maui, anything you wanna add?
Yeah, I think Gab mentioned na most likely it's gonna be a Jackson Remote show for UE. Unfortunately, I think UE is the team that got hit the most from season 85. Hopefully, they compete a lot better than UST did in season 85. But yeah, it's gonna be a Remogot show, and probably yung stats niya would be similar to Roy Sumang or will be similar to Roy
Pasaol.
Sumang season before. Yeah, or si Pasaol before
Or
sa UE.
Suerte. Ray Suerte.
Yeah, or Ray
Yeah.
Suerte.
Okay. So, sorry, Gab. May add ka pa?
No, I'm just gonna say it's just sure he's gonna average 20 plus points a game. I'd be surprised if he doesn't average 20 plus points a game.
Mga
They
three
need him
threes,
to average 20 plus
Tama.
points a game.
probably.
He has no choice. He has no choice. Okay, let's move on to our third pick. I'm gonna go with like an obvious choice then, someone that we've always been talking about and someone that I'm very high on ever since then. We're all high on him. I'm going with KQ, my boy KQ, Kevin Kimbao, from the DLSU Green Archers. He also was part of the Gilas training pool team, so he had some reps there. We've seen him improve his 3-point shot in the preseason, and I think that's like a really big game changer for KQ. being able to shoot that more consistently. We've also seen him. We've seen Coach Topex unleash him in the offense. So medyo we've talked about this. LaSalle, very fast-paced team. KQ loves to do that. KQ loves to play fast-paced. But, sometimes hindi siya nagiging effective, especially when they're not hitting their shots. But I really think KQ is the future of LaSalle and the part of the future of the Philippines. So I think that's why I want to. He's a player to watch out for me. He has the height, he has the skills, he has the talent. He would be perfect
He has the
for the
highlights
Gilas
too.
team. He has the highlights. Sobrang saya niya panoorin, di ba? Very entertaining. Kahit lasal siya, sige, okay lang, okay lang. Na-enjoy ko pa rin. So, KQ is my player to watch out for. Maui.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice also. Probably I would probably mention him second dun sa list ko, or third after Balungay, since I mentioned both of Amos and Balungay. I have to disagree with you, Sam, when you said that KQ is the future of LaSalle. I think this is KQ's year to really audition to get a contract abroad. If you watch nung off-season, KQ had to...
He's the present pala, no? He's the present of
he
LaSalle.
had to commit. He had to commit for this season. So there were, I think, rumblings or probably some rumors, not big rumors,
Tama.
that he might leave following last season. But I think this season is gonna be his audition to be able to play probably in the KBL or in the B League. I think him finally being converted into a more of a small forward than a center big man is good for his future, and I'm very excited. This guy is very talented. He has passing. He probably has to work on his defense because he'll be defending more wing players and probably more on his ball handling. But if he gets converted into a shooting guard, small forward, I'm very excited for Kevin Kiambao. I think he will be a lock for a future Gilas lineups if he continues to improve on his ball handling and on his defense.
Can I name a runner-up?
Go, Gats.
Okay, I'll let you guys name runner-ups too, but I do want to name a runner-up for a player to watch out for. And, I said Ray Remogat because, he's going to be a star, he's going to pile up the points. I'm going to mention another player, and I think we've talked about him also in the preseason episodes. PJ Palacielo. I think is going to be someone to watch out for. You talk about someone, Sam, na future of Gilas. I think PJ Palacielo has a chance to be part of that future of Gilas. Now, hear me out. He's obviously the backup center, but I've been preaching that he's better and he can play as a power forward. I think he's a better offensive player than any of their current forwards. Manansala, Figueroa, Malonzo, all of them. I think he's a better prospect, and he has height. And what is he? 6'7"? 6'7".
6'7".
Yeah, he can shoot. He shoots better than all of those three players together. He has post moves. Since he's now slimmer, he can now guard on the perimeter and he can block shots. He now has more leaping ability. I was very surprised that he could actually jump. He didn't show that yung last season. So right now he's playing as a backup center, but don't be surprised if in the second round or maybe towards the end of the season, he's now finishing games alongside Omar John as the power forward. I think his ability to stretch the floor, give a third option on offense is going to be very valuable. And I think Jeff Napa will be smart to give this guy more playing time and more minutes beside Omar John, and not just as Omar John's backup. I'm high on PJ Palacielo, and if he can develop those skills, that outside shooting, because he has a mid-range shot already, and we saw in the preseason that he can shoot it from the outside. So if he can develop that, I could see him playing a role in the national team. At 6'7", as someone who can stretch the floor, someone like Aranidel De Ocampo, who was pretty valuable in the international stage for Gilas in the past. Big, who can guard big players, and at the same time you step out and stretch the floor. I'm really high on PJ Palacelo. I really think that he has a future in the national team. He's a star. I think he's a star. Uh, so that's my guy. So that's my player to watch out for. PJ Palacelo. Mark it down. Gab Lim said it.
Lock it in. Bold prediction by Gab, PJ Palacielo making it to the Gilas team. So sorry Gab. Do you have any other runner-ups? Kasi let's just go one more round and then like ask anyone you shortlisted or you had on your list and quickly just say bakit player to watch out for. Runners up.
Francis Lopez was my other runner-up.
For obvious
mainly
reasons.
because for obvious reasons, he's gonna put up a lot of highlights. I mean, just want to see someone jump out of the building. Francis Lopez. I mean, kung gusto mo lang makita ng dunk or a fast break, he might put up a windmill or a reverse dunk in the half court, a putback dunk over someone, posterize someone. I mean, Francis Lopez is your go-to guy. I think you just have to watch UP games for Francis Lopez alone. Maybe JD Kagolangan will put up alley-oop from half court. I don't know. I mean, obvious reasons, no? Francis Lopez is someone to watch for this upcoming season. Kayo, yung runners.
I think yung first runner-up ko talaga, yung player, it's not even the player to watch this season, but really UST, Growling Tigers. We haven't seen anything, any content with the UST Growling Tigers this off-season. Puro recruitment lang, recruitment dito, tapos biglang may aalis, babalik. I mean, it's their off-season has been crazy, and I think this is classic Pido Arencho. You don't see the UST Growling Tigers till the season. I'm very excited to see how they will mesh with the new recruits. I'm excited with SJ Moore. I hope he's really worth the hype. But if you were to ask me one of the players that I'm really looking out for, a runner-up for next season, I'd probably say Harold Alarcon, just because of his play this off-season. Harold Alarcon was really a very hype player from the province, I think, nung high school. And we're starting to see why. I think this off-season he's been the go-to guy of UP. He's like a better Paul Desiderio, in my opinion. This coming season will probably be their marksman. And I'm very excited to see how he will handle the additional pressure that he gets now that he will be able to get more usage. And lastly, I think si Reynard Hamamoy. I think he showed flashes this off-season. Especially nung game na wala yung starters. It will be interesting to see how Coach Jeff Napa will use his three-headed minions. I'm excited to see these three guys, Steve Nash, Humamoy, and but yeah, we'll see next season. I think whatever happens, he will carve out a role. He will play off ball. He will get some minutes as a shooting guard. But we're excited to see how NU will look like, especially since they're not that underdog team from last season. Will they be able to elevate their play to a championship contender, or are they just a playoff contender? Let's see.
Good picks, Mau. I like the Harold Alarcon pick. You wouldn't think of him top of mind kasi parang naging solid contributor na siya sa team for the past 2 seasons. Pero ngayong preseason, parang different level na naman yung na-raise ni Harold Alarcon, or at least what we're seeing from him. Parang for me, he is him. Ganung level si Harold Alarcon.
Hello KBL, hello KBL, hello B-League.
Hello. Pwede.
Maraming rumors yan si Harold Alarcon this off-season of potentially playing abroad, and I think a big season can solidify his bid to play abroad.
Grabe yung journey ni Harold Alarcon. No? Remember nung season 84, he just surprisingly got minutes, 'di ba? Nung finals, no final
Mm-hmm.
four finals. And then now he's probably the main guy already aside from JD sa UP. Yung we've been talking about him nga Mau nung off-season, no? He's handling the ball more aside from being their main perimeter defender. He's now in, initiating a lot of offense, getting a lot of shots. So, yeah, ako UP goes where JD and Harold Alarcon will take them. It's not so much Francis Lopez. Si Malik Juke, of course, gonna be their defensive anchor, but offensively, those two guys, I think, are gonna carry them. Sam.
Okay. So, I had KQ. I had Mason Amos on my list also. So, obviously, Maui mentioned him. To replace Mason, I'm gonna go with Mike Phillips, another LaSalle player. Kasi, I wanna entertain my LaSalle brethren, diba? So, I'm going with Mike Phillips, another guy that got international experience playing for the Gilas or Team Philippines. Uh, and this is sort of where my mindset was, sino ba yung mga players na kailangan sa Gilas or kailangan ma-develop? That's sort of like the thing that I came up with na
May
parang
hangover ka pa ata, Sam, sa World Cup
oh,
eh.
exactly. Ba't nila kinuha si KQ, si Mason Amos, si Mike Phillips? These are the guys that could. I'm not sure kung eligible si Mike Phillips, by the way. But
Not yet.
these are the guys.
Mike Phillips,
Hindi
not
pa.
yet.
Hindi pa.
Yeah.
Okay. But potentially in the future, these are the guys
Yes.
that we could watch out for, di ba? And we really, nakita natin, lalo na yung big men natin, medyo matanda na si Japet. Junmar is probably paid his last, di ba? So, and we've sort of seen Mike develop then his game, no? And I think playing internationally gave him good exposure. So I'm gonna go with Mike Phillips as another player to watch out for. But masingit lang since Maui picked Mason, I'll pick a third one. Ito maybe stretch siya for Gilas, but I'm rooting for Cholo Año Nuevo. I know he was supposed to be like a Div 1.
Division 1, no, Division 1.
Di ba? Div 1 player.
FEU.
FEU. Yeah. So I'm looking out for my other fellow other schools, other fans of the schools, di ba? So why Cholo Año Nuevo? He had the potential, alam natin, he got recruited Div 1. He has the height ever since high school, point forward siya. So he's like 6'4", 6'5", can play multiple positions sa UAAP. And something that I've noticed ngayon, and he has the body type, diba? Malaki din yung katawan niya. So I feel like he can compete internationally. But what's something that I've noticed in FEU's preseason games, si Coach Denok Miranda is making Año Nuevo guard the point guard of the other team. So defensively, parang inuusog na niya si Cholo Año Nuevo as like a point guard, which I think is a good idea. And parang if he can guard like faster players, like the point guard of the other team, and do a good job, that would be really good for his development. And I just really like his size. Siguro what he just needs to improve on also would be I think ball handling still needs work, pero yung shooting niya, consistency sa shooting.
Shooting,
Still
yeah.
not a
Yeah,
consistent
shooting.
shooter. Yeah, still not a consistent shooter. Horrible free throw shooter. I don't understand why. But yeah, I'm rooting for this guy. I feel like he has the size, the skill set, the potential to make it to a Gilas team in the future. So hopefully ma-develop pa siya.
Yeah, good. Those are very good
Yes.
picks. I have to agree. I'm very excited also kay Mike Phillips. Yung Mike Phillips kasi that we watched before was like a Ben Wallace, just rebounding and defense. And the Mike Phillips we saw this offseason is somebody who can create off the dribble. And aside from Cholo Arenuevo, I think si Patrick Sleet is another player that we can probably mention as an honorable mention. Along with Cholo Arenuevo, I think both of them had a very good offseason, contributing consistently sa FEU. I think this is one of the things that FEU needs this coming season. I think we saw last season that they struggled to score points. Now, if we get at Cholo Nueva and Patrick Street more consistent 10 points per game, close to 10 points per game, then probably FEU will be one of the contenders again for this season. But let's see. They were doing this without LJ Gonzalez, so we'll see if they'll
Totoo.
be able to carry this over.
Uh, they were doing it without LJ, but they had Pasaol with them, who plays just like LJ Gonzalez. Diba?
Okay.
Parang they were resting LJ, that's they were playing Pasaol, who was still in high school. So, I don't know.
Maybe a player to watch out for next year. Diba?
FEU guards
Definitely,
are always
definitely.
players to watch out for.
To watch out for.
Yeah.
Tama naman. Good
In
point,
history.
Maui.
If UST is wings, FEU is guards. Point guards.
True. True. Those FEU guards, man.
Okay. That's it. Gab, meron ka pa bang pabahabol before we end it?
No, I think we've mentioned a lot of players. Maybe our subscribers have some picks that they want to shout out to, maybe for other reasons that we should watch for these players. We didn't name any boss. Maybe we could
Very
have an
positive tayo
episode
dito,
or
guys. Good energy.
sige, fine.
After nung Gilas,
right after
we have
after
to-
nung Gilas, kailangan ng positive vibes eh.
we have to be positive
energy
vibes.
sa basket.
We
Philippine
didn't
basket.
pick any bus players. We were looking for players, bright players for next season. Players who are
Kita mo
looking to
naman,
break
hinahanap
out.
natin mga future ng Gilas eh, di ba? So, let's end it there. Bago pa tayo may masabing masama about Gilas or about any player, let's end it there. That's it for today's episode. If you have any other player that you want to watch out for, and let us know why. Comment down below. If you haven't, don't forget, subscribe and share this with your friends. Road to 1K, here we go. Thank you for supporting us. We're excited to do more UAAP content with you as the season 86 comes along. So, we're here for the ride. Let's go! Basketball na ulit, UAAP na ulit. Hindi na kami makaantay. Bye-bye. Ingat.